back with round number 2 of what we want to talk about today. There's a couple things I want to say concerning the Snyderverse and so on. I did speak to you guys about faith and hope. Quite a lot of detail last stream. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit more as developments are kind of unfolding as we go through this day. So I'm going to get you back up to speed on some of this stuff. So let's get to it. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste mine. Let's get to it.
Supposedly the safest place. Apparently Israel is supposedly the safest place for Jewish people, unless you're in Israel right now. Flights have been grounded per the Israeli regime. No one with Israeli citizenship is allowed to leave during a bombing campaign that they started. We all know that Zionists have perfected trapping Palestinians under bombs for decades. And now they've decided to try it on themselves. Colonialism eats itself. And let's not act surprised. Colonies protect systems, not citizens. Let's just ask the protesters being kettled by police and military and shot with rubber bullets. This is what happens when a state is built on domination. It doesn't stop. The guns always end up turning inward. But what do we learn, folks? Colonies do not care about their citizens. And colonizers do not care about the land. Israel was never a safe place for anyone, and Zionism is a death cult.
חשוב לי להבהיר, אנחנו לא נאשר יציאות של ישראלים לחו"ל בשלב זה. מי שיוצא לחו"ל הם אותם אנשים שהגיעו לבקר בארץ, אם זה תיירים, אם זה תגלית או דיפלומטים, שיחזרו לארציהם, אבל הם לא אמורים לחזור לארץ בקרוב.
Apparently,
the diaper-wearing army is working real hard to find their hostages right now. No, you're not confused. That is an MRI machine inside a cancer hospital that has just been bombed by the most moral army in the world. And the soldier, or terrorist, whatever you might call him, is trying to break the screen of the MRI machine because there might be some hostages inside the screen. There might also be some Hamas inside the screen. You know, whenever I used to hear names of charities like People Against Cancer, I used to always wonder, what kind of a fucked up name is that, People Against Cancer? Does that mean that there are some people who are for cancer? And then I found out about the Israelis. I mean, what kind of people would destroy a hospital, would destroy a cancer hospital, and then go in and find the only maybe possibly working equipment in there and destroy that too? I'm guessing it's because of something really smart, like cancer has a right to defend itself. Cancer has a right to exist. Whatever, I hope they find their hostages inside these medical equipment screens and stuff.
Iran was about to get a nuclear weapon. This is all to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, but it's also kind of a regime change war. Israel has nuclear weapons. Israel has also threatened to use its nuclear weapons. What's the deal with the idea of a nuclear bomb? Because Iran does have this nuclear program, which they actually have a right to have, and they don't have a bomb. And in fact, the supreme leader they want to kill so badly put out a fatwa saying they can't have a bomb.
It's shocking how
little they're even trying to change the discourse. We have to get the weapons of mass destruction. It's like, where have I heard this before? I feel like I've heard this before. It's the Iraq playbook essentially all over again. Iran is a signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And as a signatory, you don't have nuclear weapons, you agree to no nuclear weapons, but you can have a civilian nuclear program. US intelligence says that Iran is not pursuing a nuclear weapons program. Iran allows international inspections. You know who doesn't allow international inspections of their nuclear program and is not a signatory to the NPT? Israel. You know who doesn't have nuclear weapons? Iran. You know who does have nuclear weapons? Israel. You know who won't recognize or acknowledge that they have nuclear weapons? US. That's the situation. Israel actually has nuclear weapons. Iran has no nuclear weapons, but somehow Iran is the nuclear threat. Israel is attacking Iran right now. Israel started a war, but again, Iran is the threat. The non-nuclear state is the threat. Israel is carrying out a genocide, but that's not even something we talk about or call it as such. So why be concerned that a genocidal ethno-nationalist state has nuclear weapons? I guess no reason. I mean, it's mind-blowing when you actually know the details. The problem is that the general public doesn't.
Okay. That's all break-in. That's all segue. Now, let's correct a couple things first. No flights leaving Israel. You think they closed down the Ben Gurion airport for no reason? I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of information about what Iran's doing to Israel that's not getting publicized in the media. So you need to know that. So Israel can't fly over Iran. They fly with their planes and deliver missiles into Iran, trying to get at certain targets. Iran's radar defense would shoot down their planes, as they have shut down an F-35 already. They've shut down a couple of Israeli planes already. It's the same thing with the Houthis. You can't fly over Houthi space just like that. They'll shoot it down. So that's the beginning of that. The next thing you need to understand is that Iran's a massive, massive place. So if you say you're going to do regime change, probably in Tehran or wherever, you got to understand these people have mountainous terrain just like in Yemen. So to destroy high-level officials, it's not easy to do that. Now, they tricked them into doing negotiations, and then they got killed. And Donald Trump wants to resume negotiations, but of course, Iran is not going to go for that, and they shouldn't. I hope that Iran punishes Israel for all that it has done, and by extension, America, because Israel's a proxy of America and the West. I hope that Iran punishes Israel for what it has done, which means raining down missile after missile on Tel Aviv, which they're doing actually. And there's a lot of significant damage done to Tel Aviv. I showed it in the last video. But anyway, let's just continue, because I'm having fun. Americans that are alive today will be dead next week because Israel sees their death as a victory, because it makes us fight for them for their wars. That's Nick Fuentes. I don't need to go into all the details of this particular part of the video, because he's going to say that, the U.S. will go in there and somehow overthrow Iran and get regime change. This is what he's hoping for, at least. And, after that scenario, then Israel will start running things in the world and so on. Now, this is Nick Fuentes being overconfident, first of all, in the U.S. military. I don't know of any single war in recent memory where the U.S. has won anything or left a place better than it was before it left. It had a war with it. So I don't really see that being a great thing. Anyway, this is what Mr. Vladimir Putin had to say about Iran and about what's happening right now. Fukan Gozukara, I've been following him for a while. Can any sane person disagree with this explanation? Listen carefully.
А европейцы, Иран выполнял все взятые на себя обязательства по известному соглашению, о котором мы сейчас упомянули. Все. К Ирану невозможно предъявить никаких претензий. А затем Соединенные Штаты в одностороннем порядке решили выйти из этого соглашения, А европейцы продолжили требовать от Ирана, чтобы он выполнял взятые на себя обязательства. Ну это, вы уж меня простите, но это какой-то бред. Не Иран же вышел из этого соглашения. США вышли. Бывший президент Трамп взял и принял решение выйти из соглашения. А европейцы говорят, да, это не очень хорошо, что американцы вышли, но вы, иранцы, все соблюдаете. С какого хрена-то иранцы, извините, так по-русски